On the outside, Liverpool native Kyle Chase had it all. He was a popular DJ who had performed on the international circuit at house and techno shows in Croatia and Ecuador. He had opened his own nightclub, Spray Shop, a former garage that he transformed into a music space close to Bramley Moore Docks in the south side of the city. However, Chase, also known as Kyle Muldoon, led a parallel existence, one he kept secret from his supporters and allies within the music industry. He was also a drug trafficker who had accrued revenue totaling hundreds of thousands of pounds as he dealt in multi-kilogram quantities of heroin and cocaine. Away from his criminal involvement, Chase carved out an international reputation under his DJ name Eldon, a reference to the Eldonian village where he lived. His nightclub, Spray Shop, had garnered acclaim across the industry, even having been given praise live on BBC Radio 1, the UK's biggest radio station covering commercial music.
New club Spray Shop, a former car garage in Liverpool, credited as helping to fuel the city's underground renaissance. I wonder if it was inspired by the legendary Paradise Garage, which of course was a former car garage in New York back in the day. So for the next 30 minutes, he's going to give you a taste of just what went down when he took over the club a few weeks ago. Please welcome Josh Cheval in the mix.
Hey Pete, it's Josh Cheval here, and for the next 30 minutes, you're going to hear a flavour of my set from the Spray Shop in Liverpool. I really enjoyed playing here. The club is something really special. The team have really taken the time to articulate every detail beautifully. The sound, the energy, the layout of the space, it really works, and it really sets these guys apart. In this mix, you can expect to hear music from the likes of Mark Broom, Shadow Child, Sam Alfred, as well as some bootlegs and originals from me. Hope you guys enjoy it, and thanks for having me.
The 350 capacity space was first discovered by Kyle Chase in 2021, at the time being used as a storage facility. There is no denying the genuine passion that Chase had for dance music and the nightclub experience. Inspired by his own experiences DJing at both large and small-scale venues across Europe, he set about to ensure attendees would have an immersive experience at his club, with lighting and sound at the center. Extensive investment was put into it, with Chase insisting on the installation of a sound system from globally renowned sound specialists TPI Sound, based in Leicester. The nightclub's opening was covered by industry-leading publication Mixmag, who interviewed Mr. Chase, who was quoted at the time as saying, "As soon as I entered the space, I could see that it had a lot of character, even though it was a bit of a mess at the time. This place, I can assure you, isn't going to be just another nightclub in Liverpool. I'm here to create a cultural legacy that this city can be proud of." There can be little doubt that the revenue generated by the club would have been used as cover for the income coming in via the drug trade. However, he was stopped in his tracks when it was discovered that he was operating on EncroChat under the aliases Three Fat Ladies, after his contacts called him Fat Kyle and referred to him by his DJ name. According to the messages, he had conspired to supply heroin, cocaine, ketamine, and cannabis on the Europe-based encrypted messenger system that was infiltrated by French, British, and Dutch authorities in early 2020. Chase of O'Reilly Court in Vauxhall, Liverpool, was shown to have 113 other accounts stored within his contact list and had been in contact with 31 of those during the period in which the authorities secretly had access to his messages. In one message sent to another user that went by the name dimsum.com on March 29, 2020, he spoke about taking care when storing the drugs.
Need to be careful. End up with all the headaches, lad. Seen it over the years. Bits are better on your own shelf.
Further communications meanwhile referred to having contacts based in Dubai that could source ketamine from India. Chase also exchanged messages regarding the importation of cocaine with an EncroChat contact named Velvet Royal, later unmasked as a 39-year-old Alan Roberts. The messages also highlighted that large-scale drug dealing comes with the usual problems of chasing typically unreliable individuals for payment. Chase referred to being owed a sum of £69,000 during April 2020. Another contact named Luke was said to have owed him the sizable sum of £286,000, while another EncroChat user known as Farmer was noted as owing £96,000. Messages later referred to being paid £64,000 by Trig, sums of £192,000 and £416,000 by VIP, and £64,000 by Farmer. On April 15th, Chase told the Handle Gene Wilder,
"Lad, it's hard work. Everyone's at it in competition for not that much profit anymore. I'm just getting by at the minute."
In other chats, Chase spoke of the availability of bash, or an adulterant in the cutting of drugs, and hides for storing illicit substances during their transportation, speaking of a Peugeot van with the ability to stash up to 40 kilograms. His messages showed involvement in the supply of a total of 12 kilograms of cocaine, 3 kilograms of heroin, 10 kilograms of ketamine, and 15 kilograms of cannabis. Chase was linked to his usernames after contacts referred to him as DJ Eldon, a reference to Eldonian Village, and Fat Kyle. The password for his device combined a relative's phone number and the city of Barcelona, where he previously resided, while the DJ also sent images from inside his music studio to his associates over EncroChat. This was the first major conviction for drug dealing that Chase had faced, although he had certainly been no angel in the past. His criminal record showed 6 previous convictions for 16 offences, including 5 years for conspiracy to commit robbery in 2005 and 3 years for possession of crack cocaine with intent to supply in 2008. Julian Nutter, defending Chase, told the court,
"He has, throughout his life, struggled. He is in the music business and, like many people involved in that, he became involved in hard drugs. He turned his life around and made a resolution to give up that lifestyle and make something of himself. Quite plainly, he is very good at what he does in the music industry. His life has an element of tragedy because he had been addicted to Class A drugs. He has now murdered that demon. He has managed to address the underlying reason for his offending. He appears in part to have been acting as a broker. Discussions sometimes did not necessarily bear fruit. You can clearly see that this is somebody, from the very poignant letter he has written to the court, who has clearly hit a turning point in his life and decided he has to act in a responsible way for his family. The man you are sentencing is not the man who did these things 4 years ago."
When sentencing Chase to 12 years and 8 months in prison, he said, "It is clear that you were dealing in multi-kilo quantities of cocaine, heroin, cannabis, and ketamine. You conducted your business with multiple other EncroChat users and drug dealers. You have clearly developed a skill set in the music industry, and you were enjoying a degree of success. It seems you had found your calling and were working hard in a legitimate business. No doubt that has all now been taken away because of the sentence I am about to impose." Merseyside Police's Detective Inspector Laura Parr said following the sentencing,
Muldoon was found to be supplying large amounts of Class A and B drugs during the COVID pandemic. During a time when the vast majority of the country were staying indoors and looking out for each other, Muldoon remained intent on taking advantage of vulnerable people. Drugs cause widespread misery and devastation in our communities, and it's pleasing that there is now one less drug dealer causing harm on our streets. Muldoon wrongly believed he could hide behind EncroChat devices, but sadly for him this wasn't the case, and he now faces a lengthy prison sentence. I hope this result shows that our officers are committed in our pursuit of these people who think they are above the law and believe they can evade justice. We will continue to target criminals like Muldoon by thoroughly examining any evidence and carrying out any necessary searches across Merseyside.
There is no denying that Kyle Chase had made poor life choices when it came to earning a living. That said, he was turning his life around and had started something that was a passion of his, while also benefiting the community of Liverpool. Hopefully he can continue on that path when he's released and go on to live a positive lifestyle. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.